Hey, what's happening, guys? What's cracking, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be talking about influencer marketing. We're going to be talking about a platform called Open Sponsorship. And I just wanted to give you guys kind of a rundown of this site, what it is, how it works. And I know I have a tendency to ramble, so here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to give you guys like a 3-minute breakdown of what this is, just for anyone who's curious. And then for anybody who's actually serious about using this platform, I'm going to give a full run through of the website. I actually made this video on Friday. It turned out to be about 28 minutes long, and then at the end of it, of course, instead of actually rendering the video, I accidentally deleted it. I was pissed at myself. So we're going to try this one more time. Hopefully we can get it right this time. Obviously, influencer marketing is huge. There's a lot of people, including myself, who think influencer marketing is one of the best bangs for your buck these days. And another reason influencer marketing is both important and powerful is because it is almost impossible to get organic reach on Instagram anymore. You know, there was a time when you could build up huge followings and get a lot of attention and get a lot of clicks and drive a lot of traffic completely organically, but now it's pretty much a pay-to-play platform. That eventually became the case with Facebook, and Instagram being owned by Facebook, it's kind of gone the same route. So unless you're willing to spend money on influencer ads, which I'm not necessarily a huge fan of, influencer marketing is where it's at. There are a lot of influencers out there who are have big heads, have an overinflated idea of their value, and where I don't think you're going to see an ROI paying them. You know, if you pay somebody $1,000 for a single Instagram post, the chances of you making that $1,000 back, in my opinion, with most of them, is pretty slim. So I've kind of shifted towards micro influencers, you know, influencers who are a little bit smaller. Maybe they don't have hundreds of thousands of followers, but maybe they got, on the low end, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. But I think there's a lot of value to be found in the influencers with 30,000, 50,000, 70,000, even 100, 150,000 followers. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. How is open sponsorship different than hashtag paid, FameBit, Grapevine Logic, a lot of the other influencer pairing sites that are substantially cheaper than this one? Well, it's the caliber of athletes and celebrities they have. So open sponsorship is kind of more geared towards athletes than anything else, although you do see Taylor Swift on here. And just one interesting thing to note is all of these athletes and entertainers are people who are part of the open sponsorship platform. They've opted into setting up profiles. So this isn't just a search engine to find influencers. This is actually, you know, all of these influencers, all these celebrities, all these athletes have actually opted in to be part of the program. I would say this is a higher caliber of influencer than a lot of other platforms. You're going to find big name professional athletes on here. Obviously, we see Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose, let's see, Klay Thompson. So you can see kind of the big caliber of athletes. I'll run through this in a little bit more detail later, but let's say, like, you know, you sell archery goods. You know, they have archery athletes in here. They have paddle boarders, they have base jumpers, badminton players. So even if you do something a little bit more obscure, you can probably find them on here. This platform is not cheap. Again, I'll be going through all of this in more depth, but I just wanted to kind of give a quick run through. It's $3.99 a month for the basic plan, which gets you one live campaign at a time. And it's $800 for the business plan, which you can have unlimited campaigns running at a time. And you're going to get a dedicated account manager. You can also connect up to 3 brands. So this is not cheap. This is probably not for most people. If you have a drop shipping store, probably not for you. If you're making $1,000, $1,500 a month, probably not for you. But if you're making more money, if you've had success with influencer marketing and are looking to scale it up, this could be a good fit. This is very, very data driven, so you're going to get a ton of data to make sure that you're selecting the right influencers, and also kind of how this is different than some of the other influencer platforms out there. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold here still. How this is different, they're actually going to kind of hold your hand through the process. They're going to help you find the right influencer, help you connect with these influencers, help you kind of figure out what type of campaign you should run. And on top of that, they also have an escrow system. So they're going to make sure that you're happy with what you receive before you're actually shelling out money to an influencer. So it's a little bit more in depth than a lot of the other kind of influencer or brand kind of, a lot of the other platforms that connect influencers and brands. And I guess as far, oh, and here's one other thing I wanted to mention. This is a little bit more than, hey, just give me a shout out on Instagram, which is what most influencers do and what most of the platforms are meant to do, right? Either make a YouTube video about my product or do an Instagram post about my product. I realize I'm running over the 3 minutes here, but I'm gonna wrap this up in a moment here. What you can do here, you can get celebrities or athletes to give you testimonials. So that could be a written testimonial, it could be a video. I think in their case studies, they had a bunch of players on the Pittsburgh Steelers do testimonials for a mattress company. This mattress company gave them mattresses, and they slept on them and then said, hey, we love this mattress. If you have, I don't know, a sports card shop or a sports supplement shop or I'm trying to think of other like sports related businesses, a shop that sells sporting goods, you could have an athlete actually come into your shop and either do an autograph signing or just kind of be there and do kind of a meet and greet. So this goes well beyond just, hey, give me a shout out on Instagram. So I think for the most part, we've kind of covered everything about this. I am going to do a more detailed walkthrough. I know the other day when I was kind of running through the website, it kind of sparked a lot more ideas. A couple things I'd like to mention real quick. I'm not an affiliate for these guys. This isn't a sponsored video. Part of the reason I wanted to make this video is because I actually had a call with these guys the other day. I was thinking about using them. And my initial impressions after looking over the site, I'm like, they're kind of a fucking ripoff. They want to charge you $400 a month or $800 a month, essentially to give you access to a search engine to find Instagram influencers. I was like, that was kind of a ripoff. Well, after sitting through a call with them, I'm a little bit more impressed. I'm still trying to decide if it's going to be the right fit and if it's worth the money. But, you know, my initial impression was off. They do a lot more than I initially thought. One of the main things I was concerned about is, are these athletes actually people who are on board, or is this all going to be cold outreaches to them? Turns out all these athletes are on board. Either some of them manage their own profiles. A lot of the bigger ones like Taylor Swift and some of the big athletes, it's their managers who manage a profile. But all these people have opted in, so they're all down to do campaigns. It's not cold outreach. Turns out it's a little bit cheaper than I anticipated. To get like say a celebrity in some obscure sport like archery or badminton, you know, maybe $50 to a couple $100. If you wanted to get a professional athlete, but not necessarily like the big name athlete, you know, I'm in Chicago. So let's say I wanted to get some Chicago Bears player who's not the big name player, but who is on the team. You know, maybe as cheap as $200, maybe even cheaper than that, to a couple $100. And obviously, if you want to get the big tier athletes, it's going to be more than that. But you know, you could get a fairly famous mid tier athlete for $2 to $5 grand, maybe. Potentially cheaper, but you know, I'm just kind of throwing out some numbers that I saw from their case studies. One thing that I thought was kind of cool about open sponsorship is they're pretty transparent with who they've worked with, what people have paid for campaigns. They came right out and told me, you know, this company paid this much for this post. This company paid this much for this deal. So, you know, you're not going to get into here and then realize that every athlete or whatever wants like 10 grand. I figured we'll do kind of a quick run through of the website just to kind of spark my mind with some other stuff. Spend smart. From social posts to in-person appearances, there's an option for every budget. So again, this is more than just shout outs on Instagram. You can have somebody come to your shop. You can have somebody do a video testimonial to play as a pre-roll on your website. Really, the sky's the limit in terms of what type of kind of deal you want to work out with somebody. Measured results. We track everything from engagement to brand goals to ensure a positive ROI. Very, very data-driven. I don't think I'll be able to show you everything since I don't have full access to the platform, but we'll run through and look at some of these athletes' dashboards. And Discover Matches, our proprietary AI technology, pairs brands with athletes based on goals, audiences, and other campaign factors. So you can reach out to specific athletes and things like that. They have a pretty in-depth search function that allows you to find people, and you can even search what people have been Instagramming about or tweeting about. So if I'm a brand that sells protein powder and manufactures their own protein powder, I can search for NFL players, and then I can specifically search for NFL players who have mentioned protein or protein powders. Because if I want an athlete to rep my brand, excuse me. If I want an athlete to rep my brand, hopefully there's somebody who actually uses that product. In the case of this example, protein powders. So very kind of in-depth kind of search options. You can also kind of put out an invitation to athletes and influencers. hey, this is our brand, here's what we're looking to do, and then people can apply to you. You can see their profiles, and you can also ask specific questions. So, if I did have a protein powder company, like, what type of protein powder do you currently use, or what supplements do you currently take? A lot of different directions that you can go with that. They've done deals with Anheuser-Busch. They've done a lot of stuff with, what are those kind of like fake sports gambling sites where you put together, it's like FanDuel. They've done deals with FanDuel and DraftKings, Anheuser-Busch, the Vitamin Shop. You can view all their case studies. Their website is opensponsorship.com if you guys want to check it out for yourself. Discovery engine, let our proprietary AI technology suggest who you should work with based on marketing objectives, target markets, and more. Search, use the most comprehensive search tool in the business to find an athlete who will deliver on your goals. Campaign, the quickest, most efficient way and easiest way to find out who is interested in partnering with your brand. Advertise your brand to all athletes, teams, and events, and have them apply to your brand campaign, including having them answer custom questions that are relevant to you making a decision. We kind of talked about that. Messaging, very in-depth messaging platform. So if you currently work with a lot of influencers and it's successful, and you're just doing cold outreach and trying to manage these influencers on a spreadsheet or something like that, this is much more in-depth. You can also do, if you have an affiliate program, or if you want to offer some type of royalty to make it more incentive-based, you can do that. And then again, they handle all the payments and have kind of an escrow system as well. Let's see why you should choose them. Personal profiles. Here they kind of show some of the athlete profiles. So lifestyle information, what they're into. You see demographics on their fans, so the age base of the fans, where they're from, income, all this type of stuff. And one cool thing that they do, you can take two athletes who you're thinking about working with, and you can stack them against each other and get a report. And you can see, okay, athlete 1 would be better if my audience is like 18 to 25 year olds, but athlete number 2 would be better if my target audience is like 25 to 35. Social media keywords and interests. You can see sponsorships they've done in the past. You can see related profiles if you still want to continue searching for other athletes. And you can also see recent news about that athlete. Let's see, some reviews. They just kind of talk about some of the different types of deals that you could work out. You could do a product endorsement. So, hey, buy this watch. Hey, buy this mattress. Logo placement. This would probably be harder to do with a team than it would to be like an individual athlete. But in the case of somebody who is, I don't know, say a paddleboarder or a kayaker or a badminton player, more individualistic sports, maybe an MMA fighter, they have more control over, logo placements on themselves or the gear or whatever. But that is an option. Image use and name use. So if you want to use somebody's image on your website, in advertisements on social media, and hey, LeBron James loves our toothpaste, or whatever it may be, you can do that. You can have them do social media posts. You could have them come in and be a guest speaker, or I guess another example of that would be like event appearances, stadium booths, apparel shoots. If you want to get Russell Westbrook wearing your sneakers or whatever, you could do that. Trying to think if there's anything else we missed here. Let's kind of run through the athletes real quick. So we can look at, NFL players. And if we wanted to narrow it down to a specific location, we could do, say, Chicago. And I think if I recall correctly, we got like Urlacher, Lance Briggs, Kyle Long, Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher. Let's see if we got any other decent names. Donovan McNabb never actually played for the Bears, but he is a Chicago guy. Let's see, Zach Miller. Or we get rid of that and just look at all athletes. I kind of got the big sports up here: NFL, NBA, MLB, golf. We can search by gender. Let's see, what is this? I guess that's kind of who manages the account. I think they have, if I recall, it's like over 50 different things. So if you say, well, I could never afford to hire a NBA player, or hey, I sell paddleboarding stuff. How is hiring an NFL player going to help me? They really go down. I mean, you got aquatics, archery, base jumping, biathlon, BMX, bodybuilding. So if you had like a supplement company or something, you could do that. Bowling, boxing, camping. I don't know if there's professional campers. I don't know how that works out. Canoeing, classical dance, cornhole. I'm not sure. Are there professional cornhole players? Apparently not. cross-country skiing, CrossFit, curling, cycling, decathlon, dog sledding, esports. I'm guessing that would be like video game players. So let's just take a look, see what we got for esports. Nothing there, huh? Foot golf, I don't even know what that is. Gymnastics, high jump, hiking, ice hockey, jiu-jitsu, karate, kiteboarding, kite surfing. I know they got paddle boarding on here. I use paddle boarding as an example for a lot of stuff. Let's see, I think they got like 6 or 8. The other day I was looking. But yeah, a lot of these obscure sports will still have athletes and things like that. I'm making this look bad here. Everything I picked, there's nobody on here. Rock climbing. Let's see, I'm sure we got some rock climbers. Oh, you know why? It's because we still got the search function set to Chicago. Let's see here. Yeah, fuck, get rid of Chicago, dude. Okay, I think now if we were to go to... You know, we got 4 professional paddle boarders. Let's find something else obscure. Paintball. You know, maybe you sell paintball masks or something like that. You could hire one of these professional paintballers. And these types of, like, more niche down, more obscure... athletes and things like that are going to be a lot cheaper than hiring like an NFL player. Pricing, let's dive into the pricing a bit here. So pricing, it's again, this isn't cheap. It's $3.99 per month for the basic plan. It's $70.99 per month for the business plan. Now they do charge a $7.50 onboarding fee. Now to me that's a little bit steep. My initial thought was like, okay, for $3.99 a month, I can maybe justify giving it a try for you know, I don't think it's fair to do anything for 1 month, but you know, I can give it a try for 2 months or a quarter or something like that and see how it goes. But that $7.50 onboarding fee kind of gets you locked in. I fucking hate onboarding fees, whether it comes to the gym or whatever else. And so I asked the rep, I'm like, what are you doing for me for this $7.50? Like, to me, it just seems like a cash grab. And he's like, oh, well, you know, we help get you all set up, and you're actually going to have a dedicated account manager walk you through your first deal. And I was like, okay, you know, fair enough, but I'm not new to influencer marketing. So, you know, if I were to say, well, fuck it, I don't need your help, just, you know, let me pay the monthly fee. Is there any chance you guys would waive the onboarding fee? And he told me, you know, I think that might be something that we've done in the past. I'll look into it. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but it seems like something that they may be open to. One thing I would say is if you ask them to waive the onboarding fee, and they waive it for you, don't go asking them for help later because you didn't want to pay the fee, so figure it out on your own. I've worked on platforms like FameBit, IntelliFluence, Grapevine Logic. I'm comfortable kind of going through this myself, so I'm comfortable kind of figuring it out myself. The kind of how the basic plan and the business plan differ. Basic plan, you can do unlimited searches, but you can only have 1 live campaign at a time. Once that live campaign completes and that athlete is paid, you can then move on to your next deal. But you can only have 1 deal going at a time. Unlimited messaging, you can have 1 brand connected. The business plan, you are going to have a dedicated account manager on all your deals. You get everything that the basic plan comes with, but you can also have unlimited deals running at a single time. So if I want to have 8 or 10 different brand deals running with influencers, I can do that. You do also get a press release per campaign that you do. And I'm not sure what the custom newsletter is. I'm guessing that's maybe they'll send out a newsletter to your audience that, hey, XYZ brand and XYZ athlete have partnered to do this deal, blah, blah, blah. And you can connect up to 3 brands. If I know a lot of people in various industries will try to run several different brands and not really let their customers know that they're behind all these brands, and it just kind of allows them to have more reach within that space. So if that's the case with you, that's something excuse me, something that you can do. And again, I'm sorry, I'm dying here, guys. And then here's some of the brands that they've worked with: DraftKings, CBS Interactive, Groupon, Birchbox, and many, many others. So I don't think this is going to be right for everybody. I would say if you haven't had success with influencer marketing in the past, or if you haven't tried influencer marketing in the past, I'd suggest you do it on a small base, on a smaller scale. Try to find some success and then scale up to a platform like this. If you're not making a decent amount of money, I'm not sure exactly what a decent amount of money is, but let's say like maybe at least $3 to $5 grand a month, if not more, this platform probably isn't right for you. There's probably other things that you could be doing to grow your income until you get to the point where it makes sense to use a platform like this. And then lastly, I wouldn't say you can't use this platform if you sell other people's stuff, but this type of relationship, this type of platform makes a lot more sense if you have a brand that you're trying to build. You know, if I don't know, let's go to paddleboarding, because that's my go-to example. If I'm manufacturing and creating my own brand of paddleboarding stuff, then it makes sense to get a big name paddleboarder to say, hey, you know, buy XYZ stuff. I like XYZ brand. I'm kind of getting them to lend their credibility to my brand, and when people think of my brand, they might buy because of that. If I just set up a, you know, johnspaddleboardingshop.com, and I don't actually have a brand, and I'm just selling other paddleboarding brands, so I'm selling ISUP and Body Glove and other brands like that. Not to say I can't use this, because, you know, I could have an athlete or somebody say, hey, I shop at XYZ shop. But, you know, I guess let's use like Nikes as an example. If I'm Nike running deals like this, people hear Nike, they're going to go buy Nikes. Whether they buy them directly from Nike or Sports Authority, Nike's still making the money. If I have, you know, John's Shoe Shop, and I have an athlete come say something about Nikes, well, people can go buy those Nikes at Sports Authority or eBay or Amazon or wherever else. I'm not necessarily going to get the sale. So because you're kind of paying a premium to use these higher tier athletes, celebrities, influencers, I think it would be best if you actually have your own brand that you're trying to grow, because part of what you're spending the money on here is to associate an athlete, a celebrity, an influencer with your lifestyle, with your brand. That's kind of what you're paying for. And so if you don't actually have a brand that you're building or a lifestyle that you're trying to create, you're kind of, in my opinion, overpaying a little bit. But that's open sponsorship. That's kind of the walkthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions about this platform, feel free to ask them down in the comment section below. If you're not subscribed to this channel, click that subscribe button down below. And I apologize for coughing through the video. I'm going to let you guys go so I can go eat a cough drop and hopefully get better here. But excuse me, I will catch you guys on the next video.